What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Steve's Project Car Garage. My name is Steve. It's been a few weeks since I did an update and got a couple things to talk about, so grab yourself a cup of Joda juice and stick around. Alright, so I've been up to a few different things. A couple of weekends ago, I went to a classic car show. Well, actually, it's more of an exotic car show in Celebration, Florida. I'll show you a couple of clips of that, which was pretty cool. And then fast forward, we're waiting on parts. I spent like 3 weeks waiting on parts thanks to the USPS. Finally got them. We'll talk about those. And then, as you can see, I'm filthy. The tub's out into the driveway. Long time ago, the tub got painted with the Raptor liner at the bottom. And there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done on the body. So what I've been working on is just kind of slowly going through and fixing some of the work that I'd done previously that I was just not very happy with the exception of the door gap stuff. I still have to come back and do that, but we're going to do that with the body on the actual chassis. I cut out the last of the rust on the car, so that's a big milestone. Currently have that treating with some metal prep. I'm going to put in a small little patch there. Came along, fixed up a bunch of welds on the firewall that I just was not happy with. Filled in a couple of holes that I had too that were there from various things that people have put in over the years and that I just was not satisfied with. Yeah. Still trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to pull all this out. I think I may end up, I don't know, having to cut that out and like weld in new metal or something. But I'm going to get to that later. But I am trying to decide if the next step before I go ahead and take this off and put it onto the car is that if I should go ahead and sand down everything that I can now while I have it on the rotisserie in that waist height and then hit it with primer. The exception of that is going to be pretty much right back here. I'll be able to get some of it, but not all of it. But I'm thinking that might be a good move, because then I've got the entire thing in primer, and I did it while it was all relatively accessible. So let me know what you think in the comments, but I think that might be the route that I'm going to go. Let's go in the garage, though, and talk about some car parts. All right, so as you can see here, I got the drive shaft, and I have two flanges. Why might I have two flanges? Well, when I spoke with Nigel at Spitbits, he told me that I was going to need to use the old flanges off of my old drive shaft to be able to adapt this overdrive. Well, he was partially correct. So I'm looking at it, and the shaft that I got actually came with the rectangular flanges like this, but this is actually the style flange that was on the back, so I did swap that out forever ago. But check this out. I went to go ahead and put this guy on, and lo and behold, it ain't the right size. None of those matched up. So I reached out to my buddy Kyle, and he had one that had the 3/8 inch bolt pattern, and so he got me set up here, and I had to deal with C-clamps or short clips yet again, but I got the drive shaft flange put back on, so drive shaft is actually ready to go. I do have to go ahead and get some different Zerk fittings because they're just too long, and I want to get little plugs so I can go ahead and put that on in there and just plug it up so that way it's not a liability. And then I've been working over here also on some electrical stuff. So one thing that I had found out is that I had not put the shifter linkage back together properly. And what I had done I made it so that way reverse lockout was not working. And so I could go from second to first or second to reverse. And that's a problem, right? So after talking with Kyle and Hazen and a couple of their friends, we figured out what had happened is I had put a circlip in the wrong place, causing it to not work. But now the reverse lockout works. So yay for that. I went ahead and I got the switches for the overdrive, and then I got one down here for the reverse light. And I'm just kind of playing around with things with the old harness that I have here. I'm going to recreate that and make it better, of course. It's kind of the idea, but that's kind of what's been going on there. So let me go ahead and talk to you about the cooling. All right, so I'm working on this water pump leak. So what had happened is the previous housing had stripped out a bolt down here, and the previous owner put in a larger bolt, and it worked for them. But of course, when I go ahead and try to put it back in, I put in a helicoil and tried to make it work, but that did not work, and so it leaked ever so slightly from the bottom. So again, reach out to Kyle. Kyle happened to have one of these, and fun story on this one about the USPS, but it eventually got it, surprisingly. Didn't think it was going to happen, but I have to go ahead and swap this out and get on in here. What I'm thinking about trying to do is to see if I can also, while I'm in here, get a different pump that doesn't have this style pulley on it. I don't know how important it is, but I look at the angle that I've got this radiator at, and it just kind of bothers me. But I may save that for when the pump actually goes. Because, I mean, the pump works fine. It's all a cosmetic thing that's bothering me, and that's really about it. And that's kind of minor, but anyways, you get the drift. I'm going to have to go ahead and drain the coolant system, though, one more time. Fill it back up after I've replaced this, put this on. Got all new gaskets for doing that. And then once that's done, and the coolant side of things should be good. I still have a small oil leak also coming from the very front of the pan. I went ahead and I torqued all the pan bolts down again, because they had all come a little bit loose, as you expect. And after I torqued them back on down, it still leaked ever so slightly. So I got a couple of extra pan gaskets, but I think that what I'm going to end up doing is getting this to the point where I can drive it, run 50 miles break-in. And then once I got that 50 miles of break-in done, I'll go ahead and at that point pull the oil out, drain it, and then go ahead and pull the pan. Pull the pan for two reasons. One, to go ahead and replace the gasket. And then for two, to also just make sure there's nothing crazy that's sitting in the bottom of the pan, because that would be terrifying. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Let me see what else we got happening. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. I got some other stuff from Moss while I was making an order. Got some new condensers. I got some new points. They're coming. They were back ordered. Yeah, I mean, just a couple of little small odds and ends. But the idea is, for me, is to go ahead and get the tub on next. And once I have the tub on, then go ahead and figure out what's next for the car, because I love the idea of having this kind of garage space back. We have a bounce house now, so that's taking up a bunch of room, and I need to turn this project and make it a little bit smaller. So that's kind of where we're at. Sorry it's not a big update. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I posted last. Life's been crazy. Had a lot of things going on, and finally this weekend I actually had a couple of hours to get out here and just kind of knock out stuff that needed to be done, and was nothing that was really worth filming because y'all don't need to see more of it. But anyways, that's what's going on. Thank you so much for subscribing. Click the bell to get those post notifications. Remember, we're working on project cars like this. Take your time with things, don't set any deadlines, and most importantly, don't be that dreaded previous owner. Cheers.